So how much did you find out? What do you think?
Bitcoin is like fake internet money created by mystery person / group where they decided to make you solve a math problem, possibly uncover a prize, which is called a Bitcoin. It reminds me of the Nintendo that you and Jorm used to play when we were little, where the Mario Brothers would like run down the screen and have to bump their heads on a little block.
Yeah.
And then you come out from behind that block, you hop up and you get a coin.
Welcome to Sat Chats, the Bitcoin podcast where we chat about sats. Sats are the smallest part of a Bitcoin, the same way pennies are the smallest part of a dollar. With Sat Chats, we are building the world's biggest Bitcoin welcome center to serve as your gateway to generational wealth. So if you're brand new to Bitcoin, we want to chat about sats with you. Head to satchats.com to grab your slot in the studio today. I'm your host, Stewart, Bitcoin Maxi, who wears prescription sunglasses to protect you and your loved ones from my Bitcoin laser eyes.
I'm Lion Pelto, guest co-host. I am the CEO and founder of Beep Slurp and the Lunginia creative director. We are giving away 10 million sats to when we reach 100K subscribers. And we're on the road to number 99, Kristen Pelto.
And who is Kristen Pelto, Deebs?
Well, they know.
She is, to you, what's your relationship?
She's my mother.
She's his mom. She's his mom. So I got my loved ones in the studio here today, including my sister, Lydia, a.k.a. Lyd the Bid, number 80, which means we're not too far away from Kristen. And I think this is going to be like, this episode is going to be, you know, that the halfway boss before the end boss, you know, because tell all our satillionaires what you're planning to do at the end of this episode.
Well, our family is having dinner tonight at Chubby's Tacos. So I'm going to take my $50 cash, cold, hard, dirty cash, and I'm going to use it to cover my dinner for my family of 5.
Oh my gosh. So
it's $2 tacos. That's
only $10
$10
a person. Remember, they're probably going to buy like I said, $3.99 Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
I roll.
So satillionaires, we're 2 minutes into this episode, and she's going to take $50 in cash and spend it tonight on tacos. Lyd the Bid is going to talk about the highest time preference of all time. She's going to take the cash and spend it today.
That's right.
So
putting in the work this morning.
Yep.
So that I can have a free dinner tonight.
Yes.
Which you might not even need to use the $50.
Yeah, because number 18, so Dad might pay for it. So what happens if he pays for it?
Yeah, so then I'm going to put it towards my coffee budget with my husband. I like to have coffee with Uncle John every morning. And it's fine to make it at home, but it's kind of nice to go out and have it in like a nice little espresso beverage and like a beautiful cup that we didn't have to make, and we just spend our mornings together having coffee.
Yeah.
And that's going to go towards the coffee fund.
Well, here's the thing. I bet Johnny's going to take the Bitcoin.
No, Johnny is going to take the $50 because he owes me money.
Oh my God, Lyd!
He has to pay his car insurance.
Auntie Lyd is running a fiat empire.
This is a totalitarian house.
Totalitarian.
Taya also owes me money, so if you want to get her on the show.
Oh my God!
And she is a spender. She will take that $50, and she's gonna spend it on.
So your teenagers are in debt to you. So let's get into everything. But before we do, help our satillionaires out there get to know you a little bit. Tell us just a little bit about Lyd the Bid.
Okay. I am your sister. I'm the oldest.
Yep.
In the family as the firstborn.
Yeah. How much older are you than me?
Well, I'm going to be 44 on July 4th. So I was born in 81 and you were born in 85.
Yeah.
So I'm like 4 years older.
Sometimes 4, sometimes 5.
Yeah. Well, it depends. Yeah. School wise, we were never in high school together. So
yeah.
I am married to John Binet. We have 3 kids.
Who's part of the and John? I'm trying to get John on the show, y'all. He is part of the XRP Army.
He's obsessed with
this
XRP.
dude is on the XRP Army train, but he does have Bitcoin as well, which we're going to be talking about a little bit on today's episode. But he's on that XRP. Yeah. All right, so you're married to John.
Married to John. We have been married for, hold on a second. What's 25 minus 4 line? 21? 21 years in July.
Wow.
And we have 3 kids.
2 of which are indebted to you.
Well,
So what do you do for a living?
okay, so I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
And I teach French to high schoolers. I love my students. It's my vocation. So it's like, yes, I get paid to do it, but also it's like it's what fulfills me in life, in addition, of course, being a mom, number one. And then number 2, and a wife. But then I do love teaching my kids.
Yeah. So she loves her kids. She loves being a teacher. She loves being a moneylender to her. She's sending them overdue notices in the mail back to her own house. You know what I mean? For them to open up. So let's start off with some of the standard questions that we ask on this show, okay? Because I do kind of want to talk a little bit about tonight's tacos, but let's start off with, how much do you know about Bitcoin?
Okay, well, I've watched all the episodes that you gave me for homework, which are all the family episodes, and then some other people. And I also watched here's the What is Bitcoin video that you put in your reminder link for the appointment. Also, then I really felt like I still didn't know what Bitcoin was. So I had a whole conversation with, our big bro buddy, like ChatGPT, and asked it all the questions that I wanted to ask. So
OpenAI, you need to sponsor us.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, dang. So how much did you find out? What do you think?
Bitcoin
Yep.
is like fake internet money. It reminds me, it was created by mystery person / group.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Where they decided to make you solve a math problem to possibly uncover a prize, which is called a Bitcoin. It reminds me of the Nintendo that you and Jorm used to play when we were little.
Yeah.
Where the Mario Brothers would like run down the screen and have to bump their heads on a little block.
Yeah.
And then you come out from behind that block, you hop up and you get a coin.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So you solve a math problem, you get a coin, voila. And it takes, in order to solve this coin, you don't do math on a piece of paper. You just get a computer to do the math for you. It takes a substantial amount of power and energy resources to solve this math problem.
Okay.
In order to get a Bitcoin. So then you have to buy a special computer to like do this mining, aka math problem. And then you have to get lots of cooling equipment, fans, because it takes too much energy, makes everything hot, and you have to like cool it all down. And then there's only going to be X number, how much? Like 10 million or something?
How many, Line? No. You don't need to look there. How many Bitcoin total will there ever be?
I think it's 21,000.
21,000 is 21,000.
Yeah. No,
there's only ever going to be 21,000?
I thought there was 10 million.
No, not 10 million.
21 million?
21 million.
Okay.
21 million.
We combined.
Bruh, 21,000.
Okay, so there's 21 million fake money coins hidden on the internet.
Dad, we might as well.
Fake money coins.
Yeah, we might as well.
No.
And you can collect your fake money coins into a fake online wallet.
Fake online.
And then you can save them for later.
Yep.
And hope they are worth something later. Like stocks and bonds and mutual funds and all that other savings account places you put your money to save for later, so that they magically give you more money later without you doing any work.
Okay.
Yes.
But you can also use them to buy almost nothing, right?
Almost nothing.
Nothing that you actually really want to buy.
That's Fiat. That's
Okay.
Fiat.
Let her keep going.
However, I have noticed that you can now Venmo. I think you can Venmo Bitcoin now.
I think you can.
And I think that like literally changed on my Venmo app. Like I just noticed it like literally days ago. I don't know when it changed, but it was like,
it's coming for you.
Share money now.
It's coming for you.
Because for me, yes, I also don't. I like to have a dirty money 20 in my belt bag at all times.
Okay.
Just in case.
You like to have cash.
Only 20. I don't want to have more than 20.
One $20 bill.
One $20 bill and I just get it from the grocery store cash back whenever it disappears for whatever reason.
Okay.
This, that, and the other thing. Just because sometimes you need $20.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I do all of my money accepting and giving in numbers on the internet.
Which is, like
and I use
digital.
Like, bloop, bloop on my Apple Pay when Bitcoin can be like bloop, bloop, and Venmo. Those are like my two number one ways to.
So Apple money. Pay and Venmo are your top two money things.
Correct.
Both of which live entirely online.
Yeah.
And is simply units or numbers shifting back and forth without you ever touching real cashola.
Right. But that's how everybody pays and accepts money, right? In America. Right.
So if everybody...
And if I go to Europe, it's going to be in euros.
Yeah.
And if I go to Mexico, it's going to be in pesos.
Right.
So I use the money that is widely accepted at the location where I'm currently staying.
So is that all it takes for you to be comfortable with it, is for it to be widely accepted?
Probably.
Well, in this current location, Bitcoin is widely accepted.
But like, why is it better? Like right now, I get paid in dollar numbers right directly into my account. And all my bills come out automatically in dollar numbers.
Yeah.
So that is the transaction that I'm using. Why would I use anything else?
Okay. Well, let's first of all, that was freaking amazing. And you've actually learned a lot about Bitcoin. Yeah. I mean, if you just eliminate the word fake wherever it appears, you're like you're hitting the nail on the head.
Imaginary? Like, I think it's not quite so much imaginary because it does actually sort of exist, right? But it's kind of like pretend.
Like
video game. It's like video game money. That's
video game money.
Well, here's the thing. I got $3 in Bitcoin from the Tooth Fairy, and that was like at 10 p.m. at night.
Yeah.
At 6 a.m. in the morning, I gained 3 cents.
Yeah. So let's kind of talk about that real quick. Let's talk about the dollar versus Bitcoin, okay? Because Lion's trying to communicate the fact that when he chooses Bitcoin as money, the purchasing power goes up over time. And
whereas like with fiat, it's still it's $3 and it's $3, but from, for example, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., it's already now whatever I wanted to buy with $3 is now $4.
Not really. It's still $3 under your pillow. You have $3 under your pillow, and you go to the store and you buy something for $3. Whatever $3 will.
I've made 3 cents in Bitcoin.
Yeah. But think about how much you could get when we were growing up in the 90s. Like, think about what a $20 bill in the 1990s felt like when you went to the mall. Mm-hmm. It felt, at least to me, like I had an almost insurmountable amount of money. Mm-hmm. If I could take $20 to the arcade with Jornborm, it would spit out so many tokens that we could play an unlimited amount of video games for 2 or 3 hours. Mm-hmm. And now you've got a $20 bill in your pack that just kind of disappears fairly regularly, and you have to get another one.
Right.
I mean, you're talking about going to Chubby's Tacos tonight, right?
Yeah.
And we were teasing you before we started taping that $50, if it's $2 taco night, you're going to be able to get 25 tacos, which is more than anybody needs to eat. But then what were you talking about your family was going to do?
We're going to buy drinks.
We're going to buy
some dips. And $10 a person is almost impossible to eat on these days.
Okay. Why?
Because everything costs a lot of money.
Why?
So here's the deal. Like, I don't really care about the why. I like to just, these are the facts. I'm going to spend $50 at Chubby's Tacos tonight.
Okay.
If all 5 of us show up, we're spending $50.
Well, you might not be.
Does it matter? Does it matter why it's going to cost $50? No, because I don't have to understand why. I still have to pay $50 to buy his dinner.
Okay. But you went through this massive Dave Ramsey period with John. And John, has been a pharmaceutical sales rep for a long enough time that you guys have had like ups and downs, when he gets chopped and needs to find the next thing, it created a lot of turbulence. And I can remember there was a time period where you were like just putting cheese on tortilla chips and putting that sucker in the oven. And like, that was y'all's dinner because there was no more money in your Dave Ramsey envelope to buy stuff with.
Right. Well, and I was also a stay-at-home mom for 7 years. Before that, I was a teacher. I saved like every penny because we were trying to live off one paycheck so that when we had kids, we knew we could. So we basically lived on one paycheck for like the first like 10 years that we were almost together.
Yeah.
Until finally we could not do that and pay for Catholic education at the same time.
Yeah.
So I had to go back to work.
So here's the thing. It's like you have done such a great job managing your money over the years that it's almost shocking to hear that you're not necessarily trying to figure out why the money that you're trying so hard to save is buying you less and less and less and less.
I guess I feel like I can't change that. Like it's the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like inflation, Lydia Binet cannot solve the inflation situation. But also, I have to say, like, John and I have very specific financial roles. Okay. I'm like the detail oriented, no risk. So I do like our day-to-day ins and outs.
Yeah. Okay.
I literally don't want to risk more than $20. So I'm a terrible investor because I don't want to put money somewhere that could disappear. Maybe I don't know how you feel about that, but that's how I feel. Whereas my husband, he is completely fine with risking money. Like he's totally fine with that. So he actually does all of our investments. I actually like don't know anything about investing because it stresses me out so much to think that we could possibly lose any money at all that I can't even like. And I also feel like if I tried to learn all the things that he wants to invest in, I would probably be like, no, we're not doing that. We're putting our money in a savings account. We're just going to stay nice and safe.
Yeah.
I don't even want it to like accrue any extra money. I just want to have a safe net of money that I know is not going away.
Right.
What you could do is just invest $20 in Bitcoin every week. If you don't want to risk more than $20, just put $20 in this week. Which is like $20 this week.
But how do I know it's not a fad and a trend that's going to go away and then I'm not going to have my money's going to be gone?
Because I've made $100 in Bitcoin.
Because a lion has done well. That's why.
I have done jobs for Uki and stuff, and he's paid me in sats. I've made $100.
But what are you doing with it?
Nothing.
Saving it. Just like you.
See?
And
this is probably like a John conversation because if it's going to be like money that you can't spend right now that you have to like
honestly
invest and like maybe you wind up with more money later.
You can spend Bitcoin.
That is one of the John like I have to have like a certain amount saved that's just safe, accessible money.
Yeah.
Like I need it now. My HVAC just broke. I need to get the money right now. Like I need to have an amount of accessible money. If John gets laid off, if something breaks, if all of a sudden we have to pay a whole bunch of money, I need to know that it's there for me today.
Yeah.
That I can go like this on my app, transfer, savings, checking, done, Venmo, me, you, done.
Right.
In that case, you could just sell some Bitcoin, or in that case, you could just sell your Bitcoin.
Well, let's slow down a little bit. I actually think that this is a better Lyd conversation than it is a John conversation because John sees Bitcoin like an investment. He believes he's investing in an asset as if Bitcoin were like cryptocurrency or as if...
Which ChatGPT says Bitcoin is cryptocurrency.
It is technically a cryptography based form of money. So it is a cryptocurrency. But cryptocurrencies like XRP and Ethereum and all the other ones are basically fake money coins because a single entity issues them out of thin air for no good reason and says, this is worth something, you should buy it. Now,
I'm not a fan of any of that.
There's another organization out there in the world, Lyd, that issues a token from a centrally located place and says, this is worth something, you should use it. Do you know who it is? It's not a cryptocurrency.
America.
It's America.
Listen, I actually kind of like that idea because I know I can go back to that place, America, or I can go back to Europe with the euro, and I know that they're going to say, yes, that is money.
Yes. But by the time you get back there,
So
they're like, oh, no, you
the
need more.
idea
You need
of,
more.
like, decentralized is like, I don't know who's in charge. Imaginary
Yeah.
person that we don't know, could be AI, could be one, could be a group. Don't know who to go to if I want to make sure this is still money. It's just imaginary people.
Yeah, but who's in
I feel like who's responsible for this? Do you know what I mean? Like a spreadsheet of transactions. Like, can't I fake that? I don't know.
Well,
Just
we got a lot going
there's
on
no
here.
boss. I need to have a boss in charge.
Okay, who's in charge of the language you're using right now?
Well, Webster's Dictionary?
No. Nobody's in control of our language, but we all use it safely each and every single day. And we all add to it or take from it. It's all good. Things can't exist without a boss in charge. But to try to refocus here, John sees Bitcoin like an investment. I'm putting my US dollars into Bitcoin, and then later I'll sell it for a greater number of US dollars.
I don't know how John sees Bitcoin.
That's an investment, right? And he has Bitcoin, by the way. Your family already has Bitcoin. You have more XRP than you have Bitcoin, but you got enough Bitcoin to get started, and we love that. You actually might be a better fit for Bitcoin because you and I sound very similar. The amount of risk I'm willing to take is none. And when I play chess, I want every single piece that I move to be supported by 2 or 3 pieces, so that if I'm not just throwing a piece out on the board and saying, oh, I'm going to fix it later before it gets attacked. I want to steadily march across the board until you're dead and that's it, right?
That's how I play, and I lose every time. But John kills off all of his pawns and wins.
Well, except for when he plays me, and then he gets destroyed. So because I'm like an iron wall that's simply marching forward, and every move I make is defensible by 2 or 3 other pieces, to where there's nowhere for you to get inside, or there's no weakness, right? So the reason why I chose Bitcoin is because I don't want any risk either. But what I learned was that using the dollar as my money was like the riskiest thing I could do. And here's why. When the government says, hey, we are spending more, the government has no budget, Lidbid. And the government says, all right, well, we brought in $4 trillion worth of taxes. We spent $6 trillion. We don't have that money. So we're going to print $2 trillion. And when they print $2 trillion, they're basically watering down the money that you have. So for me to save in dollars, I felt like was too risky, because the government can choose to print as much as it wants whenever it wants. So, they're basically watering down your cortado and trying to tell you that it's still the same strength. Do you know what I mean? So
you keep making multiple cups of coffee with the same.
I know.
With the same cartridge. The first one is kind of strong. The second one is just like, and then
but I think that's more about like being able to have another cup of coffee.
It's
about having the same amount of caffeine. Like, you probably don't need any more caffeine.
Still.
I'm okay, like, having a diluted second cup of coffee. I have a good friend who does that with her cake.
So see, you don't want to figure out why everything's getting more expensive all the time, and you're okay to have watered down coffee. You're the perfect citizen of America. You're like the American government is like, Lid's good for it, because she'll just keep trying to save money that's buying less and less over time, and she doesn't even want to know why. Right?
I think it's just too stressful to like care about all of that stuff and wish that you could change the world and then have like you're just one little drop. Mm-hmm. I'd rather just focus on literally all of these people that I touch, like literally like on a daily basis, and work on these close relationships with people than worry about like gigantic economic downfall of the country.
Like, you don't even have to change the world.
Dollar bills in, the dollar bills out.
Well, dollar bills go in, they melt, and then a greater amount of dollar bills has to go out to compensate for the fact that things more expensive from when they went in.
And you don't have to you don't have to change the world. You don't even have to care about Bitcoin. Just buy some and just let it sit. because it will go steadily up.
Yeah, so let's compare and contrast real quick, Deeber. Since the American government
Yeah,
can...
but see, buy and let it sit, that sounds like a savings plan.
It is. Bitcoin is money. And it's the greatest savings technology of all time, Lynn.
And that doesn't sound like... I feel like currency is like money you can buy things with.
You can. Bitcoin is accepted by 800,000 merchants worldwide. And it's now making inroads into everyday apps where you can send it just like you can cash. And if you give it 10 years, you'll be able to tap and pay with Bitcoin. But here's the thing. Unlike the US dollar, there is only 21 million. Right? So that means...
Again, created by some random imaginary person or peoples.
I think he's real. I don't
which
think
which person created the US dollar?
America?
That's a shadowy concept. Last time I checked. Which person specifically made the US dollar?
Probably like George Washington.
So you don't even know who made the US dollar. So who cares who made Bitcoin?
Does it matter who
It doesn't. It doesn't. Exactly. It doesn't matter who made it.
But everyone in the world sees the dollar as legit.
Yes.
But
and
does everyone in the world see this video game money created by someone as legit? No, I see it as video game money. Well, it's like when the kids are like, "What's that app that you guys do? Is it Roblox?" Correct. Video game money.
Yeah, Roblox is actually
video game money. I feel like this is Roblox for adults.
So video game money is money created by somebody who you don't know who it is, and it's kind of
fantasy money.
It's issued in any amount with no real bearing on the real world, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then your US dollar is video game money, Lyd. You don't know who made it, and the United States just issues it with no particular tie to anything in the real world.
Yeah, everybody buys all their things with American dollars.
Yes. So as long as everybody's willing to use your video game money for all their daily purchases, then you're good to go.
Yeah, it's like you said. Yeah, because when I go to, let's just say I'm going to travel to different countries, I'm going to pay in whatever they say is money.
Yeah. And that's great. That's great.
So like if everybody starts doing Bitcoin, then I'll come back on the show and I'll be like, I'm so glad that it took off. You were such a savant. You were so far ahead of the game. I'm so proud of you. I'm ready to get on board now.
Yeah.
I am like, Stewart, you guys, you're like an Android person, right?
Yeah.
No, I am the Apple person. Did I buy an Apple product in 2006 when it first came out and Johnny was born and Rebecca had one? No. When it is like so easy that you don't need instructions and that like everybody has it, and that way it's been tested and tried and true and it is safe and it has not failed, then I'll get on board.
All right. Well, it's been online for 16 years.
We'll see in 9 months.
16 years?
No. We're
16 years?
Yeah. Now.
And like Bitcoiners are like still a minority, wouldn't you say?
Definitely. But here's the thing. You talked about, wanting to have money that you can just save and it's going to be there when you get back. Okay. Well, number one, when you save your US dollar, every unit of that dollar should still be in the savings account. But what you're not putting together is that you won't be able to buy as much with it by the time you're ready to use it. Because when they're diluting the amount that is out there in the world, it means you need more of it to get to the same place, right?
I need a different selling point. That's not doing it for me.
So you're okay to basically have a form of money that isn't as good as it could be. Like you're okay to be like, yeah, I'll just pay more and more over time. It's fine.
I mean, I'd like not to, but that is just what the world is right now.
But what if there was a money that didn't require that?
And if everybody used it and I got paid in it and I could pay my bills in it, then I would, yes.
Okay. In 50 years, guarantee you. I mean, it's like the intergalactic credit, Lyd. Like it's going to be everywhere.
Dad, in 50
I mean, and
years,
John is a big fan of like getting in when like nobody knows about it yet. So that when it gets big, you make like tons of money.
Mm-hmm.
In 50
right?
years,
But like,
we'll be at 99.9 supply.
Mm-hmm.
How often is that really happening?
Yeah.
Usually not.
Right now?
You know what I mean?
Totally. But what would be an ideal form of money for you? Is it money that's accepted everywhere and that's it? It doesn't matter if it doesn't store your value really well. It just needs to be accepted everywhere.
I think it needs to be I think I need to be able to go bloop, bloop, and transfer money using an app.
Okay.
And I think it needs to be like what I get paid in. It's probably how I get paid.
Really?
What I get paid in, because then that's what I pay out.
I think it's fascinating that you're not interested in the idea that your money could buy you more over time.
I think that sounds like a savings plan, which I think is different than a spending plan.
Uh-huh.
So
I think you spend in the currency
Yeah.
that you receive and that bills are owed in, which is based on where you live.
Yeah.
And then,
what's your savings plan?
well, John does all the investments. I put money in savings.
But that's like an investing plan, right?
And then he does like the gambling investment stuff.
But what's your savings? I mean, John's trying to make more money with his money.
Right.
And then there's spending, which is spending money.
Yes.
But what's your setting money aside?
I like to have money in a savings account.
Yeah.
That is where I feel safe.
Okay.
Like ideally, I would have like 6 months in a savings account.
Yeah.
Minimum, like 3 months, because if we lose a job, it's
Yeah.
going to take 3 months to get one.
Yeah.
So like 3 to 6 months, I'm comfortable in savings. Like I know that if I put it in my savings account, it's not going down.
Well, it is.
I mean,
it's guaranteed.
What I'm spending my money on is going to maybe cost more later, but my money is not going to decrease in number.
Right.
Maybe the spending value, because
but it might
everything
as well
else
be
is costing more.
Yeah. So think about your 3 to 6 month emergency fund.
Like you're like, oh, you put $20 in savings. That's really only like $10. No, it's still going to be $20.
Yeah, but what if it only buys you $10 worth of stuff when you're ready to spend it?
That I can't
then
control.
Then it's basically $10.
That I can't control. I can control putting the $20 in the savings, and then I can't control how much everything is going to cost. Based on inflation, based on supply and demand, based on what brand my spicy teenager wants, because she's going to want the best, most expensive one.
So let's think about your 3 to 6 month plan.
Yeah, I know, right?
We've seen her slideshows.
So have you when you put aside 3 to 6 months worth of savings?
Yeah.
Are you calculating how much it costs to be your family for 1 month?
Yeah.
And then multiplying that by 3 or 6 to start to set your target?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever noticed that you need to adjust that because it becomes more expensive to be you?
No, I don't take that into consideration. It's like right now. If right now, and then that right now,
but over the
might
years
adjust. Sure.
Yeah. How long have you been doing this?
Forever.
Right. And so has your 3 month cost increased over time? You're like, dang, I had 3 months, but now that only covers 2.
Yeah, because there used to be one of me.
Yeah.
And then 2 of us, and now there's 5 of us.
Yep.
And we really have one money earner. I mean, like I get paid for my job, but like I pay for tuition.
I mean, there is something going on in the background of your life that you're not willing to look at, since you don't feel you can do anything about it. And it's true, you can't do anything about the government inflating its money supply because you don't control that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you wanted, you could try just a little bit of a different form of money that cannot inflate.
And I guess John would say he's doing that with his XRP
I remember
situation.
being like 3 years old and we were at Conkey and there's this weird sound and you were like trying to do the Daniel Tiger song about trying everything.
Try new food because it might taste good.
Look.
Yeah, maybe you want to try new money because it might taste good. I mean, think about keeping an open mind to something that could be incredible. And if it's $50, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think about how much you're thinking about spending $50 on one freaking meal.
I know. I really wanted
right?
that $50 Chubby's tacos.
Right? One freaking meal. And back
Can
when we were growing up,
Chubby's in Bitcoin?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay.
But and to be fair, and Dad had a hard time with this when he came on the show. Bitcoin is a money network that we are building as individual people and we're creating a value network where we're like, you know what? The money that they're making us use isn't that great because you need more and more of it all the time, and it's exhausting. We're going to create our own value network where we are going to just exchange cold, clean units that are always going to be the amount that they were. Because if it's 21 million, it doesn't magically become 23, 25, 27. Your share of that network is the same as it always is. So we are going to just exchange these little units between each other and kind of create our own system.
Can't somebody else create a few more Bitcoin?
No.
Why not? Somebody already did.
Well,
No
Satoshi made Bitcoin.
No one else has the source code.
Nobody's going to figure out the source code.
No. The source code is available for everybody to look at, right? And the source code is run by 22,000 computers worldwide. So the US dollar, we love it. It's backed by the world's largest superpower. Makes sense. Use it or we'll hit you with machine guns and nuclear bombs. Gotcha. Bitcoin is backed by the world's largest supercomputer. And it's like, it is like video game money, but it's freaking great. Yeah, think about how Mario doubles in size when he hits the mushroom.
Yeah.
Your purchasing power will double it. This is the mushroom lid. This is the mushroom.
I don't know. I'm just not really convinced.
Well,
how do you know that's not going to go like down in value ever? I mean, if people decide that they don't value it at that much, it's changing. What if it crashes? What if then
everyone's going to be buying Bitcoin?
What if everybody like loses all their Bitcoin in the world, like all the internet stopped everywhere and all the flights were grounded for like a day and a half and everything was like, what if that happens? And what if the computer crashes?
So
what if it glitches?
Hang on now.
But Bitcoin is on every single, it's everyone who has Bitcoin. It's on all of those computers, just like in the newest Mission Impossible, how the entity, sorry guys if I'm spoiling anything.
I haven't seen this one yet.
How it's like on everything. That's what Bitcoin is. If internet falls out in China, Bitcoin's still running because it's in Europe.
Yeah, but what if the internet crashes worldwide?
What scenario are you imagining?
That just happened.
No.
Like recently.
No.
Yeah. Well, all the computers got glitchy.
The Microsoft Windows computers crashed, but all of your beloved Apple products were intact. All the Linux products were intact. All the satellites beaming internet from space were intact. It's all good.
I'm sure a hacker is going to find a way to go in and like get everybody's Bitcoin.
They've had 16 years to try. It's online all the time. Bitcoin is everything you don't understand about economics combined with everything you don't understand about computers. But the reason I came into Bitcoin is because I was making more and more money every year as a salesperson, and my budget was getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And Kristen and I were not increasing our standard of living. We were just going to Wegmans and being like, our midweek top off was $150.
Bruh. Need to shop at the Food Lion.
Basically,
Kitty? Yeah, exactly, Lion. That's how you, still.
I got to go down to the
gotta find the
Kitty.
Right one.
Yeah,
Wegmans. No wonder your bill is so high. I mean, I would love to shop there. But that is definitely on the not allowed to shop.
But like, we got to go to Aldi's and get the mustard that doesn't have any mustard in it.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's mustard flavoring plus yellow plus goo. And you're like, no wonder this mustard's 20 cents. It doesn't have any mustard in it. Right? Okay, because they've diluted it all out, man. It's ridiculous. So just like Lion said, because we'll stop there. Daniel Tiger style.
Yeah.
Maybe you should try because if you could experiment for the cost of one dang dinner and potentially be introduced to a form of money that's actually perfect for you. Because it's the greatest savings technology of all time.
Okay.
When you stack those sats, they stay there for you. You're focused on the number of dollars. But the true focus is, well, how much stuff does that number of dollars get you?
Right.
And over the course of your life, it's gotten you less and less and less. Bitcoin may go up, it may go down, but over the wide span, it's only ever done one thing. And your dollars may go up and go down, but over the wide span, they've only ever done one thing, right? So yes, Bitcoin might go up, it might go down, but I know for sure that the dollar is going down, and that's it.
And I'm not disagreeing with you.
So why don't I take a tiny little bite? Let me take a little taste, because it might taste good.
I took a little taste of the hummus. It was a small taste.
You had a little.
It was a little taste.
Yeah.
So
Great.
I found that experimenting with Bitcoin was great, and I just tried it a little bit. Okay, so let's recap the conversation with Lyd the Bid here, Auntie Lyd. Okay. Who is my older sister? Well, she's the lady who pinned me down and did the spit coming out of her mouth until it was about to hit my face. And then she would suck it back up.
That's so gross.
And then she would do the spit again. Then she would suck it back up.
No, I was
then
just
she would give
tickling
me
you.
these rabbit punches until I couldn't breathe.
Yes.
And she indebts her children. Her
So-
children are in debt to her.
So she tortured me as a kid and has put her children into debt. All right. That's who we're working with here.
Your whole face red, and then I would hop up and you would run around screaming, crying, and chasing me, and I would just be laughing.
So great.
You know what I was doing?
Thanks.
Rage baiting him.
Yeah, boy. So she was the original rage baiter. Appreciate it, Lyd. And these days she's married. She's got 3 kids, two of which are in debt. That 4 figures worth of debt. She teaches French at the local Catholic high school, and she doesn't want to take any risk. She wants to save. Okay. She's putting as much water into the bathtub as possible to feel safe while simultaneously ignoring that the drain is open and she's having to put more and more water into the bathtub. And I'm offering her a bathtub with the drain that is closed. And I'm saying, just pour a little bit of water in there and watch it pool and watch it not go anywhere.
Yeah, but the bathtub is like in a VRBO, like in some other unbeknownst to me location.
Yeah, it's online
And,
where
my
she's
bathtub-
already using all of her money already.
My bathtub with the hole is like in my bathroom.
Now, she has researched Bitcoin and determined that it's fake money coins, like a Mario hitting the question mark with the coin coming out.
Yeah, Mario money.
Mario money.
Oh, tisk, 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 tisk.
She wants $50 to go to tacos with and just wants that money to immediately somehow my money, which is better and also digital, is somehow fake. Her digital money is somehow real. This digital money is somehow fake.
Widely
we don't have any
accepted.
idea how.
Auntie Lyd, you know that thing where like they
Why-
snap
Our
the-
digital money is
Widely
issued by a
accepted.
protocol that can be openly inspected and verified by 22,000 some people worldwide. Her digital money is issued by a government, and you don't understand why, and you can't see it, and you can't inspect it. But somehow hers is not Mario money, and
Right.
ours is. In reality, Lyd the Bid is using the Mario money.
Tisk, tisk,
And
tisk.
we're trying to get you into the real world of money that you can't copy
Yes.
paste. Okay.
When everybody pays everybody in Bitcoin, then I'll come back on the show.
I'm like, you will be in 9 months anyway. I'll come back in 9
Well,
months.
we
Yeah.
do ask each of our guests if they'd be willing to come back on in 9 months. So let's start with that. Would you be willing to come back on in 9 months to give us an update on either your Bitcoin baby or your fiat baby? Okay. All right. So first of all, we've done a lot of chatting. Let's take a quick break here before we
I
make
get to do the
Auntie Lyd
crunch?
bid an offer. Yep. So Auntie Lyd chose Lemon Beet here from Ithaca Hummus, which is our founding sponsor. Okay. Have you ever had Ithaca Hummus before, Lyd?
I don't think so. I think Dad might have offered us some Ithaca hummus that was in his fridge, but
Okay.
all
All right. So let's you first. Let's
I
grab
have
you
to
a.
check off
grab
the
you a-
expiration dates.
Now, Lyd brought in her own chip here. Stacy's Bagel Chips Simply Naked.
I also
Please sponsor us.
I also
We need
highly
to grab a
recommend
sponsor.
their pita chips as well.
Okay.
Okay, but these are my preferred. I wanted to make sure that my dipping experience was consistent with all my other hummus dipping experiences, and I do not like. What are they not called?
The woven wheat.
I'm not a fan of woven wheat. That
Yeah.
just makes me
Mr.
think.
Chris, I've gotten a bigger glob. than last time.
Ooh.
It's a bigger
All right,
glob.
so there you go.
Are we going to do a cheers? Because that's what I do with Gabby.
Yeah, let's
when
do
we
it.
taste
All right,
this.
so cheers. Thanks for coming on the show, Lyd. Into the mic.
Mm.
Very crunchy. Get that close up online. Not sure about that. You're not so sure about that.
No.
What do you think about that, Lyd?
It's delicious.
It's delicious.
I love the pink fuchsia color. I love the pureed consistency. That's super creamy and so fine.
Yeah.
It's almost like a fluffy foamed whipped. It's like a whipped hummus.
Yeah. So that tub is actually yours to take, Lyd.
Oh, I'm so glad.
So Ithaca hummus by the dip. All right. So let's make Auntie Lyd her offer. I'm going to give this to you, Lion. This is going to be for you to hold.
I can touch money on my someone.
So we've got $50 right here for you. Nice and easy. It's everything you've ever known. It's accepted everywhere in America, and you're comfortable saving it, right? Or you have your choice of $50 worth of Bitcoin. Now, there's 100 million sats in one Bitcoin, the same way there's 100 pennies in a dollar. Right now, a single dollar buys you 957 sats. So you can have $50, which you know and love, or you can try 47,850 Satoshis because it might taste good. Which one do you want?
I love Lion and I love Stewart and I want to make them happy and get the Bitcoin, but I'm going for the dollar.
Yeah, Diesel.
Okay, Auntie Lyd.
Holy smokes.
Today. But maybe
All right, hold it up for the camera. Hold it up for the camera. Yay!
very excited about my $50.
Oh, yeah.
Let's move this up.
Hang on, we'll do that after the show. All right, so brandish your $50 bill proudly for the world to see. Now, what we'll do when you come back on is we will determine how many dollars you can get for this many sats.
And how much money I've lost in the
and we'll
last year.
determine the purchasing power of your 50. And we'll be able to say, hey, look, it's been a year. This is now exchanged for $75. And your $50 now only buys you $48 worth of stuff. And we'll do a nice little exercise.
No, it's not.
See what I'm saying?
It's going to buy $50 worth of stuff. It's just that $50 worth of stuff might be less.
Lyd, you're in a bathtub that's draining and you're just not okay
Auntie
to
Lyd.
just recognize
Auntie Lyd,
that.
your
Maybe
freezer
a year
isn't
from
working.
now.
Your ice cubes are melting.
You know what? What's Kristen going to choose?
Oh, man.
Kristen, this can be
I hope she-
$50 worth
God.
of starbs. Do you know what I mean?
Auntie Lyd, you're
This
killing us.
divided by $5.90.
Do you want to send anybody online anywhere to interact with you? Any kind of an account or website or anything like
Do
that?
you like
That would be a theme
to connect educationally with my students on Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
As Madame Benet. So if you're trying to learn some French or learn another language, you're interested in French language and culture, feel free to follow that and see my journey as a teacher. But it's basically just so that I can post educational material for the kids on the platform where they're at.
Bitcoin exchange.
All right.
You know?
Madame Benet. We'll put that in the show notes. All right. This is the part of the show where we ask you, Satzillionaires, for your value in exchange for ours. If you liked watching me crash my ship on the rocks of my sister's coastline, you can smash the subscribe. When you do, you'll be entered into a chance to win 10 million sats.
Or you can get $50.
Good gosh. Now, 10 million sats currently is worth $10,434. If you're like my sister and still need to think about things in terms of that melting ice cube that she knows and loves, if you're a Bitcoiner like me, you'll realize that 10 million sats is a whole dang lot of purchasing power. You just got to make sure you're within the first 100,000 subscribers to do so. So go ahead and smash that subscribe the same way my sister smashed my face with her love of the US dollar. We're also on the road to number 99, Kristen, and we got absolutely wrecked for today's mid-boss.
Yeah, I think
Our confidence going into the end boss is now not as high, but we'll see. We'll see. So that episode will be next month. We're gonna have a great time, and I can't wait to see if she just wrecks me like my older sister did. So there are more ways to support the show down in the show notes. If you're interested, remember Sat Chats is for educational purposes only and should not be construed as financial advice. Also, our guests' busted views are their own. We'll see you tomorrow. You can subscribe right here and you can watch 2 more videos right here. See you tomorrow.